This is question 1 from Module 9, and we have a company that has some information. It has a stock beta, it pays a dividend. Dividends are expected to grow at a certain percent. The market return is 11%, treasury yields are 3.7, the stock price is $84. We are going to calculate cost of equity using two methods, and then we're going to talk about why they're different. So the first one is the dividend discount model. And if you guys don't remember the assumption here, so we have our dividend 0.045. I typed that in wrong. Our assumption here is that we have some dividends. They grow at a certain amount. And we want to get the present value of this. It's a growing annuity, so the PV is C over R minus G. Notice that we don't have R. We're trying to back into R, which is our cost of equity. So I'm going to guess that R is 11%. And then I'm going to calculate the PV using R and the growth rate and the dividend. And then I'm going to try to figure out what R gets me the stock price of 84. So what we're going to do here is 75 cents divided by R minus G. Notice that this does not equal 84, and there's a reason for that, because that is not the correct discount rate. So we're going to goal seek. We're going to set that to 84 by changing this cell. And the answer here is 5.4%. Let me change that to percent. And I'm going to highlight it in green. All right, so the next one asks us to calculate the cost of equity using the CAPM. I don't know if you remember, but the equation for that is the return on an asset equals the risk-free rate plus the beta of that asset times the return on the market minus the risk-free rate. This is the return on the asset is going to be our equity number that we're looking for. We're given the risk-free, that's up here. This is the treasury rate. The return on the market is given to us, and the beta is given to us. So let me just unhighlight this and highlight these. Red. All right. Follow the formula, the risk-free, which is that, plus the beta, which is that, times the return on the market minus the risk-free rate. Let's put that in percent terms. Let's highlight it in green. And here are two answers. 5.39, he has 5.40 here, and 12.10. So this is the difference. There is a world of difference between these. Let's just subtract and see what the difference is. 6.7%. It's larger than even the discount rate implied by the dividend discount model. And so why is that? Well, the difference is because these are entirely different assumptions about the state of the world and about a particular asset and what the equity cost should be. So if you were in this company and you were interested, if you were in Floyd Industries and you were interested in trying to get funding, either equity or debt, in this case equity we're talking about, but they would be somewhat related, you would have this huge gap in what you thought was a reasonable estimate. And whatever banker was calculating your cost of equity would use some other method as well. They might look at these two and calculate them, but they could use 10 other different methods to figure out what your cost of equity would be. So anyway, that's how you do the model. The reason they're different is because there's just completely different assumptions baked into these, and it's a huge difference. And so you need to understand that the dividend discount model will give you one, the CAPM will give you another one, and that there are other methods that would give you numbers that are in between or higher or lower, and you just have to make an educated choice about what a reasonable cost of equity would be based on what you know about the company and the market itself.